Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 31 Days of Halloween on the Calvin Cam podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything spooky and chilling. I'm Calvin.
And I'm Anthony. And tonight we have Fright Night. So let's get into it.
Okay, everybody, welcome back again to another episode. Today is going to be number 29, right?
I believe so, yes. 29.
Just 2 more days left after this. Wow.
Yes.
So, yeah, we've made it this far. It's been awesome, and we're excited. So let's just get right into it. Before we do, just a quick reminder: please like and subscribe, and follow us on all our social platforms and all of our audio streaming platforms as well, like Spotify. And the biggest way to support us is go to Patreon. We have a Patreon. We have 3 tiers, and join one of the tiers. You get some really good content from us, and it's probably one of the best ways to support us in the channel. So thank you all so much. And let's get right into the episode. So today we are talking about Fright Night.
Yep. Fright Night. For real.
So Fright Night is just one of those great Halloween movies that I tend to watch multiple times a year because I really, really enjoy this movie a lot. And it holds a special place in my heart because it captures 80s nostalgia for me so well, just the way that it's filmed and everything. Before we dive too much into it, let's have Anthony do a little description.
Yeah, here's an overview of Fright Night. Fright Night is a 1985 supernatural horror film written and directed by Tom Holland in his directorial debut. Tom Holland has also done Child's Play. We also have an episode on Child's Play on the 31 Days if you want to go check that out. The movie was also produced by Herb Jaffe. It stars Chris Sarandon, William Ragsdale, Roddy McDowall. If anyone knows Roddy McDowall, he is from Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, and he was in The Poseidon Adventure. Amanda Bearse, Jonathan Stark, Dorothy Fielding, Stephen Jeffries, Art Evans. The film follows a young Charlie Brewster who discovers that his next-door neighbor, Jerry Dandridge, is a vampire. When no one believes him, Charlie decides to get Peter Vincent, a TV show host who acted in films as a vampire hunter, to stop Jerry's killing spree.
Yeah, and that's pretty much like the basic plot of the movie. It's really straightforward. It has really good pacing, and I feel like it's very captivating. Also, like you're hooked pretty early on in the film, and you get to see Charlie just become such a great protagonist through this movie, and I love him.
Yeah, him and Amanda Bearse's girlfriend, there was really good acting in this movie, and they did a phenomenal job together.
Yeah. I think another one of the key elements that stands out in this film is its practical effects.
Yeah, the practical effects in this movie are amazing. We have so many sequences of that on display. There's the whole fight with Peter Vincent and Evil E, which is one of Brewster's friends that has been bitten by Jerry Dandridge, Chris Sarandon, and there's a scene where he's a wolf. He goes he's basically in Charlie's house, and Peter Vincent follows him up the stairs, and there he is, and he comes right at Peter Vincent. He falls down and on a table and grabs a wood leg, and basically the wolf comes and darts and charges at him, and then he just stabs it, and then the wolf goes down the stairs. It falls on the ground, and then you see the wolf kind of moving towards the inside of the door as Peter Vincent goes down. You see this beautiful transformation as he transforms back into human form, and it's just a really captivating display of special effects. As you see, it's an emotional scene too with Peter Vincent, and it's just really spectacular, and that's just one example of the special effects in this film and how good they are.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that it's really great just to see him morph back into a human. I think that it looks really well done. So
Yeah.
and that's one of the things I like. Another thing I like is just the portrayal of the vampires throughout this film, especially towards the end when you see like one vampire girl. I forget her name, but when her mouth like opens wide.
Amanda Bursa's character.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
That was Amy's character. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool. There was also Billy Cole, the vampire familiar, like his practical effects. He's like some sort of ghoul. Peter Vincent shoots him like 3 or 4 times, and then he just comes back. And then we have this whole sequence where he basically melts, and you can see all this goo coming out, and he just evaporates into bones and then blows up into dust. It's like a really good scene of how you could see the practical effects in this movie. Also, there's the bat when Jerry Dandridge turns into a bat and he flies towards Peter Vincent and he stops him with like a stake or a cane, and it's just, I think it's the wood table leg. I think.
It is.
So yeah, there's that whole sequence, and yeah, this movie is excellent in terms of the practicality and the practical effects. Like Calvin mentioned, the acting is really good in the game in this movie. The story is really well grounded as well.
Yeah, it is. I like the fact that Peter is like also like a creep show host, basically.
Yeah, he's a host of a television series called the Fright Night, and it's just cool because it pays homage to all the old, the old horror films like Wolfman and all those old horror films, Frankenstein, Dracula. So it's really cool how they integrated that into this movie,
and you get the whole fright night.
Yeah, that's on the soundtrack. This movie has a great soundtrack. The score is that song Fright Night is by Jay Giles Band, and it's just, I just love to see that a lot of these old 80s movies, especially horror ones, they have their like own composed song for them, which is really cool.
Yeah. No, so it's all good. Like, I love this movie. I've seen it multiple times, and just rewatching it again for this 31 days has been just a delightful treat. Like, honestly, like, this movie is worth your time. I feel like it's just a classic, honestly. So let's get to rating it. I'm gonna give this movie a solid 4 out of 5. I think that it's really great. Like I said, it's a staple. The acting's great. The practical effects carry it. The story has good pacing, and the story is good in general. I think that it's really good. Also, like, the music score is great too. So I'm gonna say a solid 4 out of 5 stars. And what would you give it?
I give this one a 5 because it just, a dear place in my heart. Fright Night is just, it's a hybrid comedy horror, romance. Yeah. So it's a great movie, and like Calvin, I'm just gonna reiterate his words. It has the story's grounded. I like the acting. The acting is solid from everybody in the cast on this movie. The practical effects are just 80s movie magic practical effects. I mean, they're really well done, and for this being Tom Holland's first film, like he really did a really good job with this film.
Yeah,
and it shows.
Yeah. And you get to see kind of just more of his magic later on when he does make Child's Play. And
yeah,
it's so nice.
And not to mention that this is a cult classic, and it has several sequels that follow Fright Night. Fright Night was followed with a Fright Night 2 in 1988 and a remake with Colin Farrell, which was Fright Night in 2011. And we also had another remake, Fright Night Part 2, New Blood, which didn't do very well. Tom Holland confirmed that he's writing a direct sequel to the original Fright Night, Resurrection, that would bring back the original characters from the film and to ignore the 1988 sequel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So another legacy film.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, I'm super down for that. So now let's get into the last portion of our episode. We're going to go fun facts.
I got some fun facts for Fright Night.
Yes.
Director Tom Holland sought out Brad Fiedel to score this movie because he was impressed by the music done in The Terminator in 1984. Dun, 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 dun. So that's an interesting one and cool one as well. The character Peter Vincent is two well-known actors for their appearance in horror movies, Peter Cushing and Vincent Price.
Nice.
So the hybrid name.
Yes, I see it now. So
Peter Vincent.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Love that. Love
that.
it.
This movie was the most financially horror film in the 1985 summer season, and it was the second highest grossing film of the 1985 summer season behind Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Revenge.
1985, hell of a year for horror movies.
Yeah,
That's
really,
awesome.
really good year for horror movies. Charlie's 1966 Ford Mustang was actually belonged to writer-director Tom Holland. The car was totaled in an accident a decade later.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a cool. That's
cool.
One.
That's a cool fact.
We got a couple more here. Although William Ragsdale and Amanda Burse are playing teenagers in this movie, in reality, Ragsdale turned 24 and Amanda Burse was 27 during filming. So,
okay,
yeah, they didn't look that old. They still look pretty young.
I thought they looked. No.
Yeah.
I mean, some people nowadays on TV play teenagers when they're like 30. So
yeah. When Charlie Brewster first meets Peter Vincent outside the TV studio, that was the filming location of the start of the 1956 film Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how they paid homage to like old sets and the whole homage to all the old horror films, like we mentioned before. William Ragsdale went through several callback auditions from the film. On Halloween in 1984, he was told he had the part.
That's a great way to find out that you got it on
Especially
Halloween.
on Halloween. Filmed at the same Hollywood backlot of the 1989 Tom Hanks movie, The Burbs.
You know, I thought the street looked familiar.
Yeah.
Like I did. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
That's cool.
Other than that, that's all the fun facts I have for Fright Night.
Okay. Well, perfect. This was day 29. So thanks for sticking around and watching our show.
Yeah, we appreciate all the comments, all the feedback that we've had on YouTube. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. And we will catch you tomorrow for day 30.
Yep. We'll see you at day 30.
Thank you all so much for watching the Calvin Cam podcast. You can find us on any social media platforms like Instagram or Twitter. Go check our podcast out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. We also have YouTube channel, the Calvin Cam. Go over there, hit that like and subscribe button, and follow us there. As well as you can now really support us on Patreon.com. It's probably the best place to support us. So you could go there, join one of our 3 tiers, and help us get bigger and better, and we will appreciate you every step of the way. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good night.